An infrastructure conference taking place in Washington, organized by the Corporate Council on Africa, or CCA, is highlighting the need for Africa to create a conducive investment environment. Government and business representatives from Africa say they are already doing just that.
Cameroonian Prime Minister Philemon Yang made the case for his country at a CCA luncheon addressing potential investors and African delegates. Mr. Yang says Cameroon, with its stable currency and political environment, is ripe for investment.
Our evolving democracy, an independent judiciary, a steadily improving electoral process, a free press, and a vibrant civil society also make investments very secure.
A secure environment is critical for investors, says the top U.S. diplomat for Africa, Johnny Carson, and he urges African governments to institute policy reforms to ease investor fears. He acknowledges economic gains, such as Africa's 6% growth rate, but cites high custom fees, corruption and bad governance as hindrances. Mr. Yang says Cameroon has addressed these issues.
Cameroon has enacted appropriate laws which enhance investment incentives, provide for free enterprise, reduce tariff barriers, and facilitate trade and capital flows.
Carson also urges leaders to address the continent's infrastructure deficit, which he estimates requires between $40 to $70 billion from private-public funders. He says African leaders have the capacity to make improvements.
Today, Africa has the worst infrastructure of any continent in the world. In terms of density of paved road networks, Africa has half as many roads as East Asia, and only a quarter of the roads that exist in Latin America.
Shortages of clean water and electricity are other deficits that need immediate attention, Carson says.
It is estimated that the 48 states of sub-Saharan Africa generate on any day less electricity than the country of Spain. And Nigeria, Africa's largest petroleum producer, generates less electricity than the city of Brussels, Belgium.
Prime Minister Yang says Cameroon has made great gains in infrastructure and plans to soon become an exporter of electricity through a partnership with a U.S. company.
We are constructing the Kribi natural gas-fired power plant. Work has been completed on the Bamba heavy fuel power plant, and we are seeking for funding for the construction of dams in Lompanga and Mainville. When these hydroelectric projects will be completed, Cameroon will become a leading electricity provider.
As for shortage of electricity in Nigeria, Executive Director Thomas Moka of PowerShare Campaign Global says they have found a solution.
We're bringing this micro wind turbine, and we can bring it into rural Africa, suburban, urban Africa, and generate electricity on an ongoing daily basis.
Representatives of the Corporate Council on Africa praise Cameroon's exemplary progress, and Johnny Carson encourages U.S. investors to Africa to take time to understand African culture and Africa's way of doing business. Ndimyake, Mwakalyelye, VOA News.
Well, for more information on any of today's stories, please visit us online at voaafrica.com.